Hey everyone, this is Julia, the nomadic crafter, and I'm living in a van down by the river, the Russian River. Yeah, so we're parked in this spot. We parked in a couple of times now, I think. You can see how awesome it is under the shade of a tree and by the river. We're here in Monte Rio, California, the Russian River. And there's a bathroom over there and a park, and you see the redwoods. You might notice the lighting is really eerie. There's smoke in the air again. So last night we got an emergency ring about an area near Forestville being evacuated because there's a fire flaring up there. So now it's all smoky. It was supposed to be really hot today. But I'd like to give you a general update. Bambi's waiting for Mom to do a video. Hi, Bambi. We've already been out for walks. So hi, everyone. Welcome to my channel. And again, this is Julia, the nomadic crafter with Bambi Dog and a 2500 van here in California, Northern California, the Russian River. So we've been here 4 or 5 days. It's been amazing. It's been up and down. It's been emotional. It's taken all this time for me to really begin to process it. So it's Tuesday and it's quite quiet here now after the big Labor Day weekend, which people did come out for. And this beach here was completely crowded and crazy with people. And this is a place where you can actually have a dog during the day at the beach. And so Bambi and I were out there and it was wonderful to just go out with my dog. But yeah, we just hung out in the ripples of water there, not deep, but really flowing water. And Bambi was good for a while, but then she started to get like anxious and fearful, didn't you, Bambi? We're working on that. So eventually I did bring her back up to the van, and we had this exact spot under the shade of the tree, and it was a really hot day, but in the van it was cool enough. So, and I had the windows basically open for her, and I went back down there, and I just had to because she wasn't going in, and I couldn't get in the river. So I went back down there and I got in the water all the way up to my neck, and it was just like being in the river. And if you have never been in a river before like that, just standing in the water like that high, you're just sitting there and you're looking down the river this way, and the water's just flowing by and you're in the middle of it. And it's just the most amazing feeling. And it was the first time I really felt since I've been here that I've been at the Russian River, like in the Russian River. By the way, I was baptized in this river. So yeah, it was really wonderful just to be in the water. And even though it was crowded and everything, the sides of the river are so natural and beautiful. It just was a pleasure. It was a pleasure to have a summer vacation day. It really felt like vacation-y. So, but my water shoes were horrible. They were so beat up. I should have saved them and showed you. That rocks kept coming in them, and then I was walking on rocks, and it was like so painful. So this morning I finally got some new ones. Now those other ones were Tevas. They were like given to me, and they were like $180 Tevas or something. Maybe just 100. But I got these today. Finally, some new water shoes for $14. And these water shoes, they're like, if you've never worn these, they're like moccasins. And that's what I love about them. I just traipse around everywhere in them. It doesn't even have to be water. Love them. So that was really needed. So anyway, it was nice to have like a vacation-y, warm, hot day at the beach. And I could have my dog. Really wonderful. And then, so yesterday we pulled off the side of the highway along River Road, which is all in the trees, and just to chill out for a little bit in the shade. And I ended up going across the road and found one of the little access points down to the river, because you can't see them from the road. They're not, commercial. They're not like cement path. It's just a natural path going down. And we found one by these really big redwoods. And by the way, when I was talking about redwoods in my other video, I wanted to say, all of the redwoods here, it wasn't like they cut the whole thing down and then just whatever's grown in the last 170 years. obviously there were trees they didn't cut back then that were already like 400 or 200 or 600 years old, because either it was too steep or they were just smaller than the other ones, or they got saved for some reason. So there's many trees here that are bigger and older that were, you know, already alive when the original cutting was going on. If you've seen that video, I was talking about how this forest is a secondary or even tertiary forest, which means the original ancient redwood forest was cut down, logged, in like the 1800s. 1850 is a general rule, but it was happening earlier too. And later, it's still happening, that you couldn't regrow an entire ancient forest of 2,000-year-old trees, because a lot of times people say that you can regrow the redwoods. Well, you might be able to regrow a tree, but it takes a really, really long time, and it takes even longer for a natural, diverse, complex, ancient forest to develop. So that said, we found this wonderful spot where these big trees were, and you just went down, and it was this edge along the river that had these big rocks and sand. It was like a little platform, and then it had a little rocky path down into the water. It was totally awesome. And I brought my chair, but there was already a chair there, and nobody else was there, and it was all quiet there. There were some people down the way, and people would float by now and again, but Bambi and I just had this spot to ourselves, and Bambi got really excited and started grabbing all the sticks and everything. And then I went in the water and swam around, and then she was like kind of scared and like slowly went in and got in the water too. It was really hot, but once we got in the water, we were totally cooled down for the rest of the day. And I did get in a couple times, and I did try and get you a video of it, but it was really hard to try and capture that. I couldn't figure out where to put the camera for you, but we did in fact get into the water, and it was wonderful. As we were there, it was the first time I got to actually just sit and relax by the river, nice and quiet, not working, just relaxing. And that's really hard for me to do, to just relax. I'm always working, and my work schedule is always interwoven with breaks for Bambi, breaks for cleaning the van, breaks for, you know, just trying to, everyday life stuff, trying to figure out where to park or get water. And so I can't really get in a 9-to-5 day and then subsequent days to make up a full week. So it's really hard for me then to take off significant chunks of time just to relax, and I find it very hard to do that. So, and I have, you know, anxiety, but I don't believe anxiety is a medical condition at all. I think it's a natural response to the current state of things, to a world that's filled with stimuli constantly, noises and movement and all kinds of factors that are making us just sort of on the edge, all kinds of worries and planning and considerations and, you know, all kinds of crazy things going on. So of course we're anxious. That's a natural response. It's not a medical condition. It's not a mental deficiency. It's not something that is something wrong with your body. It's a natural response to the stimuli. So what we need to do is learn to calm that bodily response and learn to take time for that quietude that's not filled with all of this ongoing stimulus, including all of our technology. So that's what I was sitting there doing, and it was really first time I've done that in a while. It was really wonderful, even though I live in a van and, you know, I'm a hippie and I have free time with my dog and all of that. I'm always concerned about working, and I'm especially concerned about working right now because we haven't had a chance to make many hats. My stores, if you're interested in looking, are on Etsy.com, ETSY.com. So one of them is called California Patchwork. You can just type that in, all one word, into the search bar of Etsy.com, and that'll bring you right to it. And my other store is called Good Vibe Hats. So yeah. Oh, and while we were sitting there by the river, as evening approached, and it was quiet, the water became so still and glass-like that the reflection from the land was completely equal. It was the most amazing thing. I got the most beautiful shots of that. And I'm always taking photographs and I'm always taking videos. It was really beautiful. But one thing I wanted to say was, sometimes taking videos and taking pictures will take me out of the moment. And the thing is it takes you out of the moment to take a video or some pictures, and I'm so eager to capture that moment, but it really does take me out of the moment. So sometimes what I do is I just remind myself that I have a camera right here. and it takes shots, and those are called memories. And the thing is, I feel like if I don't use it, I'll lose it. And so just imagine for millions of years before we had this technology, how did we pass things down? How did we remember things? Well, we did it with this receiver here. And if you just close your eyes right now, you can see a giraffe. If you close your eyes right now, you can see a big, long, white ship. If you close your eyes right now, you can see a giant redwood tree going up, 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 up. Did you see that? See, so this right here is a piece of technology, and I sometimes remind myself to take the image up here and remember it, because I feel also like by taking a picture, I'm not present in the moment with this, so that the memory's not going to be a well-remembered memory. It's not going to be like a significant event, because it's not tied up with the emotion in the moment, which is what really captures a memory, is the emotion that goes with it. Even music that goes with a memory can really help enhance it. But if you're off taking pictures and you're not in the moment, the memory of it's not going to be as good. So it's almost like a trade-off. So that's kind of how I feel about it. But I did get the most amazing pictures of the beautiful Russian River. Total reflection, beautiful. The other thing that I noticed was wildlife. We saw like a big blue heron. It was this big giant bird, and it was like landing and fluffing its wings. And then at one point it flew, and it had its neck, you know, how it's in like curved like that. And it was like flying, and then it suddenly stuck its neck all the way out, this big giant long neck. And it was totally like a jet. It was the most amazing thing as it just went by. And it's not like I've never seen a bird before, or even a bird like this. It's just that when you're looking at nature like that and it's happening in the moment, it's the most profound and amazing thing, no matter how many times you've seen it. So it was like that. And there are also a lot of mallard ducks swimming around, and another kind of bird, a black bird with a long thin neck and like a white or yellowish bill. And I think it was a cormorant of some kind, of river cormorant, maybe a Russian river cormorant. So there was that. And then we saw some turkey vultures, and of course they're always flying around overhead, and they're really looking small up there because they're so far up there. But one like slowly made its way down towards us and checked us out, and then like landed, and the thing was like massive. And it was just amazing to see that guy there too. So as we were there on the river, I was remembering, oh yeah, this is a natural river, you know, with wildlife. And it was such a really beautiful experience. So all of that said, I guess you could say we're feeling good here on the Russian River, living in a van down by the river, the Russian River, and taking lots of walks out with Bambi. We're about to take another one. And with the fires here, we're already thinking about heading towards Arcata, like I said. This is my second attempt to this video, so I can't remember what I said. But depending on what the fires do. So, yeah, it's very eerie here right now. It's really quiet after the big Labor Day weekend, and everybody did come out from the cities, from the Bay Area. It was like 100 degrees, so it was a nice day on the river for all. But it's much quieter now, more like the Russian River when it's not a crazy weekend. And, yeah. It's really beautiful. I don't know when we'll leave, but hoping to get some hats done today. I also need to reorganize things. Living in a van, it doesn't matter if it's organized. It's going to start getting shifted around with movement. Actually, not yesterday, but the day before, we were on these back windy roads, which I also captured for you. And we went over this cute vintage red metal bridge in the middle of nowhere. And it was only for one lane, one car, so you had to wait on the other side. A whole bunch of stuff came falling down out of the back of my van. So that sucked. I had to redo the whole thing. But anyway, time to reorganize again. I've got to make my food more compact as I'm going through some of it. And I just want to make more room. I want to set up my folding chair in the back there, because I realize it's a really great and comfortable place to sit and crochet right next to my open van window on the right back there, and just nice and private and beautiful. So yeah. Feeling pretty good today about stuff. It's been real up and down. It's been really emotional. Oh, and I got a piece of pretty bad news. When I was young, at one point, I ended up living with this family. It was a couple named Al and Yvette, and their two girls, and she was a midwife, and while I lived there, she had a son, Eric, and I was there for the birth and everything. I was helping with everything. And it was one of the best parts of my life because they were hippies and the whole experience was amazing. I learned all about health food and rock and roll music and all this stuff, midwifery. And this woman was this amazing woman, originally from San Francisco, I think. And she was a black woman with long black dreads. And she was just a powerhouse. No one would push Yvette around. She was just like badass, you know what I mean? She was just like, she was a huge influence on me being an independent woman. Well, Bambi and I were parked next to the Safeway, and I saw this other lady walking by. I asked this woman, do you happen to have known a woman named Yvette? She's lived on the river for a long, long time. I grew up here, and I knew her once. And she said, yeah, I believe that she's been gone a long time. She died a long time ago. And I said, what? And she said it was about 2007. She died in a car wreck. And that was how I got that news about my second mom. So I lost both of my moms here. I'm getting complete chills. My hair is up on my arms right now. Now, I don't mean to disrespect the death of anyone by speaking about it. But I wanted to let you know that I learned this significant thing. And then the other thing that happened was we were at the Safeway again, and there was a guy vending his wares, and I asked him if he happened to know a lady named Yvette, because it's a small town, a series of small towns, everybody knows each other. So he said, yeah, I knew Yvette, and I told him who I was and the connection, and if he could tell me anything about her, and he just talked about Yvette for a little while. Yeah, just, she was Yvette, she loved to dance, just like me, or me just like her. And I got to hear some stories about it that I just got chills all over my body. I love you, Yvette, and I'll always thank you so much for taking care of me and showing me the ropes on so many things. And I really, really respect you so much. And I'm so sad that you're gone and I don't get to see you again. So, yeah. I learned that my second mom passed, so I was glad to get the information, though, and I'm glad I asked around about it. So yeah, I don't know if I told you, but I can't really get a signal most places here. So we're going to Occidental today or back to Guerneville to get online again. And I want to really thank you for watching our general update video. And yeah, like I say, it's been up and down. It's been emotional. It's been the ride of my life coming back home here. Amazing. All right. Put your comments down below if you have any questions. Give it a big thumbs up if you like this video. I'd really appreciate that. And I'm really trying to reach a higher subscription level. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, now's a good time. I really would appreciate it. All right. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Let's say hi to Bambi real quick. Bambi, your fans want to say hi to you. Hi, beautiful girl. Yeah, you're the good girl. Isn't she pretty, girl? I love you, Bambi. All right. We're living in a van down by the river, the Russian River.